So the requirements is you need 3 letters of recommendation. Okay, from people who are experts in your field. That's the fashion category. So you need 3 recommendation letters from these people, and then you need 10 pieces of evidence as well. So some people also think that the recommendation letters are like part of the evidences. No, it is different. So three recommendation letters and then 10 pieces of evidence that shows proof that you've been doing this fashion business. So in all, you need 13 documents to be able to do this global talent thing. And so aside the 3 recommendation letters, you need a media recognition, you need industry recognition, and you also need proof of sales. So you can work around these things I've mentioned to get your 10 pieces of evidence. So that's what I did. So just like I mentioned earlier on, so assuming you're trying to get your 10 pieces of evidence. So this is what I did. I got, I think, 4 media recognition. I did 3 industry recognition, and I did 3 proof of sales. So now with the media recognition, all you have to do is to get bloggers or newspapers or magazines to write about your brand. It has got nothing to do with yourself, but your brand. They are not writing anything about you, but your brand. You understand? So it could be when you started your business, it could be the fact that you've actually gone for a fashion show, anything at all about the brand. So you can work around these things, do you get it? And then do 4 media recognition based on what I've just said. So whatever they're writing about you should be about your brand, about a fashion show that you've done, about when maybe you started, or if you have any new collection coming up. So this can be your media recognition. So you can do about 4 of them. Okay, so it can be a newspaper, a magazine, and then these bloggers too, they can also blog about your brand. You understand? So you get 4. With mine, for instance, one of my articles that the blogger did for me was the fact that I was part of a fashion show. I didn't do the fashion show myself. I was my school, my former, like my fashion school. That was they organized this fashion show for their students. So I had to join them in order to get the bloggers cover it for me so I can get an article out of it. So I joined them to do that kind of fashion show, and then through that I got my photos and I got the blogger to also blog about it. Jana, so you don't really have to do it yourself. You can find out if there's a fashion show going on or an exhibition or something. And then through that you can use that as an article. So you don't really have to do the fashion show yourself. It will be expensive. If you have money, then that's fine. You can actually do a fashion show by yourself and then get your article out of it. But if you don't, you can just research and find out what fashion shows are going on within where you are, and then you can just go and pay and then participate. Through that, you get your photos, you get bloggers to blog about it, and then you get your media recognition. Yes. So that's for the fashion. So that would be just one. And then the other one can be the fact that maybe you have a new collection. Fashion designers, sometimes we come up with collections and then you wear them, or you make a model wear them, you do photo shoots, and then you name the collection. So this one too, you can pay a blogger to blog about your new collection coming up. And then you can also get a blogger to interview you, ask you questions about how your brand started and things like that. And then they can use that in the form of a story and then publish it. Do you get it? You can get 4 with that, and then now you can move on to the industry recognition, where you need people in the industry to also write a letter to say, oh, I recognize your brand. So with that one, it can be fashion designers, an actor, an actress, even those who do shoes, like shoemakers, those who are like writers. All these people are considered to be in the arts and culture industry, but people don't really know. This is very broad. Okay, so you can get all these people to write a letter for you. Obviously, you can't just go to, let's say, Miss Johnson and say, please write a letter for me. You should make sure that you've actually made a dress for this person. So if I'm going to Dakiabia, or if I'm going to Tonto to tell her to get me or write a letter of recommendation, a recognition for me, you should make sure that you've actually made a dress for this person before. Because if the person has not worn your dress, you can't just say she should write a letter for you. But then if they've actually wore it, then they can go all out and say, oh, okay, I know, let's say my Ajay, she's good at what she does. She's been styling me for the past 2 years, and so I recognize her brand. That's what they want to see. So you have to get 3 people in this field to write that kind of letter for you. During my time, there was something like they tagging you, but then those who have applied recently are saying that they got rejected because they said those who actually wrote the letters for them are supposed to tag them in their social media handles. During my time, it wasn't like that. All you need was a letter, and then you are good to go. But then now, assuming Miss Johnson gives you a recognition letter, she's also supposed to tag you. Or assuming you made a dress for her, she has to wear the dress and then tag your social media handle to prove that it is true you made a dress for Mercy Johnson. So that's how things are getting at right now. Yes. So you need 3 industry recognition letters to say that they know you, they know your brand, you've been making dresses for them and stuff like that. You can also get, let's say, a TV presenter or a radio presenter to also get you this letter. You should also make sure you've made dresses for these people so they can say, okay, my Ajay has been styling me or have been making dresses for me for my radio show for the past 5 years or 4 years. You get it? So I recognize her brand. So I believe you should endorse it. That's it. And then you attach the photo of you in the letter. It's not just the letter. As for that one, anybody at all can just wake up and write anything. So you have to make sure that you are in the dress that they made for you. Attached to, I mean, it shows that you actually, I mean, you are putting in your all. Don't just go and submit a letter. As for that one, anybody at all can do it. So if you really want your documents to be, I mean, you want application to go well for you, then it means that you are supposed to attach the photos of them in your brand or something to the letters. And then that is it. And then now with the proof of sales, I mean, you need it from, let's say, your website. You need proof of sale from your website, and there may be a stockist deal as well. So I did one website and then 2 stockist deal. I mean, getting a website is not compulsory, but I just feel like if you have a website, it shows that you are credible. You understand? I mean, you're a serious person. You get it? So you have to have. So far as you are, I mean, you are a business person. You really have to get a website. I mean, something small, and then you can just do a screenshot of the transactions that are going on there. You understand? And like you can use that one too as your proof of sales. That shows that people are actually buying from you. You also need a stockist deal, but then the stockist deal has to be here. One has to come from here. That's the issue now. You really need a stockist deal in the UK. It is part of the criteria. You have to get one stockist deal in the UK. So you need a boutique or something to stock your things, and then through that you get a letter to show that you've been able to get a stockist deal in the UK. You understand? And then maybe one stockist deal can come from anywhere at all, or maybe your home country. And so you have 3. You add it to all of these things to make it 10 pieces of evidence, and then you add it to your 3 letters of recommendation, and then that's it.